Hi, we're down on the banks of the River Tweed today and we're going to have a look at another Skagit fly. Just a simple Willie Gunn variation. I'm going to use a 22mm Eumer teardrop tube, and I've already burnt the end of the tube on there. So onto that I'm just going to stick the liner for the hook to go. They're just as well sticking it on the now, it's much easier. And when you push it back in against the collar there, it just gives you a bit of grip if you push it on tight and push that tight back to there and tighten your needle back on it. It just stops it spinning. There's nothing worse if you're halfway through a fly and it starts to spin. The colours for this fly are basically orange, yellow and black. Just put a bit of thread on the front there, like. Big scissors. Snip that off. Now the first thing to do when you're tying the Skagit flies is whatever colour you've got in bucktail that matches with the first colour of your first hackle on the Skagit, which is yellow, is just put a bit of bucktail, not too long, about just over the length of the body, and just take your thread and wrap it round loosely and then spread it round with your fingers. Just wrap it round with your fingers so that it goes all the way around like that. And what they do is tighten it up quite tight. Just wind it round and that splays out of the back. The splayed out bit of the back just gives the soft marabou a bit of shape about it, and it gives it a bit of body. It's almost like a shuttlecock almost, and it just helps it to sit out in the water. I'm just going to put in a strand of crystal here, and I'm just going to double it up. You can put in anything you want really, like, but I'm just going to put in a strand of crystal here, just a bit of something flashy in the middle, just a bit of flash in the middle, like. The Skagit flies have been doing really well, and it's really just been trial and error with them. It certainly has worked well over the last 4 weeks on the Tweed. Now my first hackle just going to be a piece of yellow Malibu. I'm just going to tie it in at the tip. Just tie it in there like that, and then just grab the end, splay it out, and then just wind it in. It's very soft and very mobile, and it really is, it's easy to work with. You just take your time and wrap it round, pulling it back in all the time. Just keep pulling it back as you go round. But I've just been trying all different things, all different patterns with it, and this is basically the Willie Gunn colours. I'm just getting a bit short of a good quality bit of yellow, so I've had to use a bit of a very short stem, and it's not left me much to hold on to, but we've got it. Just work it all back into place. It just takes a bit of time. Once you've got it, tie your stem in there, let's tie it off. Just get rid of that. Just trim away your waste. That's it. And there's you can see that nice shuttlecock shape starting to, because I've put in that bit of yellow. It just gave it a bit. That's it. And there's the shape coming in nicely. Your bucktail's holding out the feathers of your marabou. We've been quite lucky and we've caught quite a few fish over the last few weeks, and I've heard the 2 or 3 fish in different rivers starting to get caught in them. The one thing that people always say is, oh, they're awfully bushy, they're awfully big, but to be honest, once you soak them in water, you'll see some difference. Again, I'm just going to put in another bit of flash on there, tie it in, just to keep the pattern coming through it. And on top of that, I'm going to put in, I've just been adding a bit of, very small bit, that's fin raccoon. The fin raccoon is another product from Eumer, and it's the most amazing stuff you'll ever use for fly tying. It's so soft, and it's quite new in the market, but it's so mobile, it's really good. And that's basically what you get when you buy that's one pack, is what you get, enough there to tie hundreds of flies. And you get this lovely bit of leather, which is the actual skin, keeps it all together. Just snip it off, and you've got your bit of fin raccoon there. Now I'm just going to tie it in at the front, just loosely, over the front there. And I'm just going to tease it all back, just over the marabou. It just gives it like a veil on the front, and it just makes that wee bit difference to it, like. Just tie it back in. Just gives it a nice bit of shape over the top of the fly, like. On top of that, because it's obviously a Willie Gunn, we're going to tie in a piece of orange, but we're only maybe going to put in 2 or 3 turns of the orange, not too much. Just enough to get, just so the colours are coming through with the yellow and the black, and you come to tie it. Just twist it back as you go. It just takes a bit of practice really with the marabou, like just getting the hang of tying it. There's no easy way to do it, you've just got to hang in there and do the best you can. And see, that's pretty good, that's all I want. I don't want a whole big pile at this time, I just want a bit of the orange coming through over the top of the yellow. If I catch the end there and then just tie it in like that. That's it, that's all I want. Just snip away the waste. Now a bit like that is worth keeping because you can tie single strands and single bits in later on. You can add that into smaller flies, so it's all worth keeping. The big thing I've noticed about marabou is there's no waste. The only bit that's the waste is the stem. You can use it for different flies, different things. Again, just tying it in. So there's your orange and your yellow together. And then on top of that, I'm just going to tie in a piece of black. Again, not too thick. Just tie it in right at the front. Get your stem. Just wind it round there. As it comes up, just pull it back. Just pull it right back. And you can see the Willie Gunn colours coming through now. Just like that. Just keep a hold of your stem. Get one more wee turn in there. Just keep teasing it away. It's got an unusual way that with the feathers it comes back on itself, marabou, onto the stem. There we go. Tease all that back. I just want a veil of black over that orange that was put on earlier on. That's all I'm looking for. Not wanting a great big clump. There we are, we've got it. It's lovely. Just take your thread and come up over the top of your stem. That's got it in nicely. The one thing you'll notice when you tie your flies with the marabou is you always get this lovely shape if you've put in that. As long as you've put in that bit earlier on, your bucktail at the beginning, that is so important. To have that bit bucktail in there, like. There you have it, there's a nice shape, nice flowing feathers on your marabou coming down on your Willie Gunn there, like. Let's catch that in there. I don't want a lot of flash and a lot of sparkle in them at this time of year. I just want them to be nice and floating. In front of that, I'm going to put a little bit super glue right on the front there. I don't want to bind this all back hard, because if you bind it back hard and flat, you just end up with this all going flat and it ends up like looking like that. You want it to be up and bouncy, so when it's in the water it's the same shape. Just keep it on a gold head on there. Hold back your feathers, you do want your nice new fly to go and fire. Melt that back onto there. There you have it. So there's the Willie Gunn version of the Skagit fly. I'm sure you'll see that's got a lot of movement, a lot of promise, a lovely looking fly. The Willie Gunn Skagit fly. Go out and try one. Cheers.